is my singular honor to invite you, our Chief Celebrant, Dr. Ekure, to come and read your own excerpts. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for the pleasant surprise once again.
Can you guess which one is my favorite? Chief guest. Can you guess my favorite? If you come from Peso, you know my message. Mine is found on page 76, and that's chapter 5. One of the non-negotiable pillars of transformation is work ethic. Work is not a curse. I need to say that until it sinks into people's psyche. Work is a blessing. It is through work that we create things. Work brings our imaginations to the fore. We deploy our potential. We earn a living and ultimately transform our fortunes. It is through work. Yes, you can inherit some things, but only those things that were obtained through work. So wake up and let's work and transform our society. You're not clapping harder. Please clap harder. Unless you fear to work. There are no more miracles. If you don't work, you will not get it. As simple as that. Now, I would like, before we take questions, I know time has moved, I would like us to stand to remember one of my dear friends, Cecilia Ogwal. When we launched the book last year, she had issues because the invitation went to her through Honorable Kupa. And I know again, most of the invitations have come through Honorable Kupa. Honorable Kupa, come and testify. But you not first invite the minister to speak. You don't come and say it's true that Honorable Cecilia had promised that she would be here. Unfortunately, God had other plans. I want us to stand up for a minute or a moment of silence to remember her, and may her soul rest in eternal peace. She was vibrant, she bought into her idea. Dr. Alex Bangana, thank you for coming. All the doctors in the room, including my classmates who were tickling me, stand up again and I especially show you to this audience. Harriet, the psychiatrist. You know, we used to tease each other. You know, in psychiatry, everybody is mad until proven otherwise. But that's not what it is. So I want to thank all of you for coming. Dr. Moyafu, the colleagues of mine, Dr. Kilama, Dr. James Opio, I've seen you. And then there is Dr. Pulma Philip, where are you? Yes. I mean, there are many other people. I recognize all of us, all of you. Now, just a quick story. You see, that's the problem when you invite the wife, she starts adding, she doesn't know people are hungry. And we recently had a lecture by the Lions. The best time to eat is before 8 p.m. And now I'm jittery that the dinner is sleeping away, and I want us to quicken this. Well, the Lions stand up. That is from the new voices. The new voices have made sure that the Lions stand up. You're all welcome. Thank you. Now, my quick story is that I know the abject poverty. Through my first book, Undeterred, I've told the story. But it's very painful to live that way. Unfortunately, for 99% of our population in the country who live in abject poverty, they do not know. And that's why I like Edie. He went for that thing of unconscious incompetence. They do not know that the situation they're living in can be changed. That the situation they're living in is bad. That good can be made better. And then there are many of us, like colleagues, who think salary is everything that there is, or government should be the only employer. That is the mindset we must change. Because if you depend on salary, you only want salary away from poverty, which we hate. You must have more than 3 sources of income to defeat poverty and to be secure. The night is moved, and I want to entertain questions. Susan, you can go and sit as they ask me. I will battle this. I know spiritually you'll be praying for me so that I answer properly. Thank you so much.
Okay, all right. So if you have any question, this is the question and answer session for Dr. John Ekure. Just raise your hand. We'll take only 5 questions in the interest of time.
Maybe the first time was here.
Okay.
My question is, how do you get to write? How do you do it? What is the trick? Do you write a page every day before you sleep? How do you do it? Take us through the secret.
Thank you. The secret here comes to your mind. Write it down. Okay, if you are now like you, I know, you no longer use pen and paper. You must use electronic things. Voice it and save it. And over time, the themes will come flowing. And those themes, you will transcribe. Sometimes if you don't have time, you'll have to hire somebody to transcribe. Once you transcribe those ideas, you can now hire people whose job is just to put it together. And that's why I still want to recognize Orthopad. Orthopad, can you stand up again for recognition? Betting again and Julius, and clap for that team. And I think they are becoming the best publishers in our country. They have supported many people write books, and there are many books that have been written in our country and launched this way. So whoever has ideas, you can write them down, you can save it in a voice manner, and you sit with them, hold Zoom meetings, discuss these ideas, put them together, and at the end of the day, it will be a book. And that's how I've done it. I hope your book will come. Remember, last year you attended Cecilia, the late Cecilia Ogwal said, the problem with us, we fear to document and tell our stories. And we allow these stories to be told by others. And when others tell our stories, they are not as rich as they should be. Unfortunately, I think I had one member of parliament say it when the parliament was paying honor to the late Cecilia, that she was in the stage of putting her own story on paper, and she passed on. So do it now, don't wait. I want to see it from my MPs. The books must come, the ideas must be documented. Then my teachers, my head teachers, we the entrepreneurs must show others how we did it. Malaria unification, something. Must write a book on malaria unification. What you are talking about. This is possible. My friend Adiyong has a very interesting story. When he tells his story, I cry all through his speeches. Okuba, now for you will say, I am not respectful. Honorable Okuba has a very interesting story, but he hasn't put it on paper. Please, next year we should be launching your book. My friend, the chief guest, has written these books, and I think the second one is coming. So we're in the rest. Honorable Nabito, we launched your book. I think the second one is also coming. Thank you. There was some other questions. I was warned by the MC that I'm talking too much, so should be.
My name is John Ekure, Protocol South. My question is straight. What is the target audience for this book you're writing? In 2004, what's the target audience? In 2004, my first job is a cleaner. I was a cleaner. Years later, I rose to 2 master's degrees. But literally, now I'm back to hands-on to employ skill and develop Uganda. Thank you so much. Target audience.
The target is to members of parliament, to the president, to the LOC1, everyone. This book is useful.
Dr. John Ekure, what we can do for poor patients
Thank you.
who are suffering in religion hospitals. They are really suffering. The doctors are cheating them seriously, and government is spending money. I am agree with you, but poor patients are really suffering. What we can do it for them?
Thank you. I'm happy that Jani is the one asking that question. Jani is an entrepreneur who deals in manufacturing implants. The first thing is to cut the cost of implants. That's number one, so that implants are accessible to everyone. Then number two, if people are poor, ask the question, why are they poor? Why? They are not poor because if they are poor because of natural disasters, that's okay. But if they are poor because they are unconsciously unaware of their poverty and they drink through the day, they must learn through the hard way. That's a hard one. We do not massage poverty, we will never celebrate poverty. Because every time you say, let's give donations to the poor, you are encouraging them to be poor. They must work to get out of poverty. So let's not talk about poverty. Solutions to poverty have never changed. Let's talk about how can we make them better. How can we make everybody wealthy? And the answer is changing our world. Read this and get how we can make everybody better. Not how we can eliminate poverty, but how we can create wealth. What were we not doing right? What should we do right? And if you go to just social services, it's a complex story. We should not blame government. We should not blame the doctors. We should not, because even the doctors you are saying are stealing things from those hospitals. I actually suffered. We've had fora where doctors are fundraising for a doctor to have a kidney transplant. Why would it be? The question is, why are you poor? Do not, let's cut the begging syndrome and this thing saying we are poor. No, we are not poor. We are all rich. God gave you good health. God gave you a good brain. Your hands, you must dig. You must dig to get money so that you can grow that money. That's the story.
Thank you very much. Richard Waiter is my name. I'm an accountant by profession. Doctor, last year you gave us a presentation in the seminar that was organized by the Institute of Certified Public Accountants. And your presentation was on entrepreneurship. And the question that remained on people's minds was, he said the presentation first of all was very good. And I remember everyone remained asking that how does a medical doctor make a presentation like a seasoned lecturer from Makerere University Business School? So can you please answer that? How do you do it? Because
you see, it's real life experience. I know the solutions to our problems are within us. How do you navigate? How do you navigate through these challenges that we have? The best gold goes through the hottest furnace. If you've gone through that abject poverty and you've gotten out of it through education, through knowledge, through exposure, through associating with people who have already been there as your mentors, then you are going to be able to organize things in a way that is personal to you, and those who have done the theory will find things fitting into their theories. And that's how I'm doing it. It's from my personal journey, and that's how I've seen it work. I have not read any books of economics, no. But through relating with colleagues, through knowing that when you put this brick, tomorrow you put another brick, at the end of the week you have a house. That's how we do it. Thank you. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you and congratulations, Doctor. I'm so happy. Chapter 3, on page 53, number 4 there talks about contentment, and there is a statement that you make in this book. It says, my greatest problem today would be to build a camp at what I consider to be my success and stay there for the rest of my life. What did you mean?
Never be contented, or never be contented with the level you have reached. The arrival syndrome we have reached. Then you start sleeping. Okay? What that means is that never have one source of income. If you look at me and think all my life depends on Kumi Orthopedic Center, you'll be mistaken. I have to have another source of income for a rainy day. If that hospital burnt, will I die and refuse to live? I should have my garden in Serere, I should have a farm in Mora, I should have some business already somewhere there. That's what that means. Don't be contented with the levels that you've reached. There are people who get 1 million shillings and they say that's the maximum. The sky is not even the limit. You must get wealth. You must keep wealth so that you can live well, so that you can be a happy person, so that you can support other causes. You cannot support a cause when you don't have money. And that's why I tell my friends, I'm happy Bishop K is here. Let's not preach and glorify poverty. We must preach and make sure that people are wealthy, happy, and healthy. Why would Jani be complaining about expensive treatment in regional hospitals or poor patients? If everybody had something, everybody would want God for the best. The doctors would be forced to compete with the skills. The doctors would be forced to read so that they would get the best. And all patients would want to strip to where they know they can afford. So don't be contented, Honorable. As a member of parliament, you must have a school in Kumi. You must have another business in Kumi. Don't depend on parliament for your livelihood. That's what that means. Employ more people.
My name is Andrew Collins Chiria and I'm a student. My name is Andrew Collins Chiria and I'm a student. My question is on mindset. Apple as a company has a net worth of about $3 trillion US. And Africa as a continent has a GDP of about 3 trillion. Because of the thinking patterns. So for me, the population of about 70% youth, and those guys are our own people who are down there in the villages, especially youth. With me, how can we take this message to them? Thank you.
How can you take the message to them? You can take the message to them by first transforming yourself, so that your peers in the village begin to see there is now a difference with this man called Collins. And they will want to find out how did you do it. They will learn by example. The other thing, okay, I know you're on X, you're on Facebook, post positive messages of growth and development using social media. Do not post silly things on social media. Use social media for growth and development, not for just wasting time. Then you will reach those people. I know these smartphones are in the villages as well. So you who call yourself social influencers, influence the population for growth and development. Remove them from a fixed mindset of begging and receiving to a mindset of growth and development and giving. That's what you need to do. They must change. When they see you, they should not run to you because they think you're going to give. When they see you, they should be actually wanting to give to you because they have created it for themselves in the village. And by the way, we should change the thinking that the village is where poor people live. Villages, when you go to America and Europe, it's the villages where the richest people live. So if you are living in Kampala and you think you are rich, you must be poor in your mind. You should go back to the village and develop the village. And that's why life begins. So change your thinking that the village is synonymous with poverty. You are wrong. It's the villages that we have big farms. It's the villages where we have correct thinking, and that's what it should be. So Collins, do a lot of work with your peers.
In Eastern Central, and this is very hard to say. he said, as elders, we plant the seeds, but it takes the young people to nurture the seed, grow it to a tree, and when that tree, sorry about that, and when that tree starts to flourish and bear fruit, that's when we elders start to register our success. When I pay attention to the first pages of this book, Changing Our World, you did not ignore appreciating your background, your parents, your root, and far to the inland. I pick a sense of a typical African man who appreciates his heritage and willingness to preserve culture. We are living in a world where culture is taken for granted, yet African culture is principle of discipline. As an elder whose target is to impact generations and generations yet to come, what is your guidance and what approach do you intend to undertake in reviving our African culture in our quest to change the world?
Thank you. Thank you for that. It's to be either cultural leaders or something like that. But otherwise, culture is a complex thing, and I don't think I'm very qualified to answer. But what I think is that through mentorship, in any way, you mentor your children, mentor your peers, we will preserve and grow what we are thinking about in this book, Changing Our World. I don't want to go into the political things, and because I'm not one of those who wants to get there. Thank you very much.
A round of applause for the